I'm calling to order a D.P.W Town Council Subcommittee meeting for Thursday, August 6th at 6:45 here in the McDonald Veterans Room. As kind of boilerplate, there is a council quorum in attendance here, but only voting rights will be limited to the subcommittee members here. Call to order. Roll call. Mike Montigny.
Here, present.
Councilor Grenier, present, and I'm here. So we do not currently have citizen members. Approval of minutes from D.P.W Subcommittee for May 28th.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Obviously, neither of us were on at the time. So I did have a couple of quick questions. Maybe you can answer them. For the May 28th one, was Joe actually absent or not?
He was absent.
Because it states both that he was there.
Oh, it is. I just forgot to delete it.
Okay.
I said
So
to
he
sign
was
it out.
And also, I was thinking just for future reference, we shouldn't just identify the TM as the TM. It should be TM Jack Jovan or John Jovan. There's a couple of minor misspellings, but I'm not sure what
Yeah, you were my English teacher.
Nothing. And one thing I just wanted to mention is mention that going forward, I would really like to see more details for the items, not just TM briefs on such and such, or.
So without due respect, these were not completed by our staff.
Okay.
I did them.
You did.
I'll take their advisement into consideration. Thank you.
Okay. Of course, I'll be doing it. Hi, Mike.
He did. I felt it.
Okay. Anyway, so we've got a motion and a second. Any other comments on these ones?
Well, I just wanted to say, Councilor Steves, even though none of us were on the DPW subcommittee meeting, I mean, these minutes are definitely going to state that, and we're allowed to vote on these to push them through to the record. Okay, thank you.
As amended?
Sure.
All those in favor? Okay, thank you. For June 25th, also we're not on that either. Do you want a motion?
Make a motion.
Okay.
Second.
Second, okay. The only comment I had is for item number 10 on that agenda, it says that we were getting this money for just in case. Did we end up needing it?
Jeff?
Josh?
I'd have to go back to see how much was expended on it. So I could get it on a closeout report. I don't have that answer at the top of mind right now.
Okay.
So,
I'm just curious. That doesn't affect the minutes really, I just was curious. Okay, all those in favor, any comments or questions on the minutes? All those in favor? Okay. Okay, item number 5, review and discuss the town council appointment of Stephen Lazo as citizen member to DPW subcommittee effective immediately through June 30th, 2027, pending completion of state ethics.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Yes.
Mike?
Thank you. I just want to say, Mr. Steve Lazo's been on this committee for a very long time. He's a wealth of knowledge, and apparently after a month, he's the only person who's applied. And I really appreciate everybody who applies for every citizen membership, as well as Mr. Lazo. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Steve's not here. Okay. All those in favor? Okay. Okay. Number 6, review and discuss the D.P.W sewer transfer request of $7,000 from account sewer reserve to account natural gas. I'm not going to bother reading numbers. To fund the line item for costs of FY27 that were not known at the time of the budget adoption. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Manager?
thank you. As you're aware, we did have to make some transfers at the beginning of the year because of the natural gas bills. All this does is fund the line item for natural gas. So this is just to fund it for the fiscal year. Again, that all came in after we had adopted the budget and presented the budget in March, adopted the budget in May. Then all we learned about all those natural gas bills, we did all the transfers. This is just so that we can fund that line going forward for the year so that we can pay the bills for this year. That's all.
Do you know what exactly happened with that?
We've had conversations with Matt. He said very candidly that they did not receive any bills down there from National Grid. The bills originally had been with Veolia, as I stated in prior meetings. They were Veolia bills that were paid out of their operating. When it transferred and we redid the contract with the new vendor, Veolia closed out all their accounts with their name, changed it over to the town. We weren't aware of the bills. The bills were clearly mailed to an address on Dresser Hill Road
Yeah.
that they don't even get mail at. So when we got these bills, the shut-off notice we got,
Yeah.
that prompted us to call National Grid. We called National Grid. We then set up the online account, and we've been fine since.
Okay. So this $7,000 should cover the entire year?
It should, based on the usage that we had in the, based on the usage from those bills that we received. Yes, it should.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor? Okay. Number 7, review and discuss approval. Review and discuss the approval of amendment number 1 to the agreement for operation, maintenance, and management services for the Southbridge water system between the town of Southbridge and Whitewater, dated August 16, 2020, for an additional term of 5 years, and allow the town manager to sign all related documents. Is there a motion? Is there a motion?
Oh,
I'll second
I
it.
motion. Was waiting.
Okay. Mr. Andrews?
Thank you. So, for those that are new to the council, but Whitewater has been our longtime vendor that has been contracted to run our water treatment facility, our water facility. They've done a great job. We're in a 20-year contract. Every 5 years, it's up for renewal. It's a 20-year contract with 5-year renewals. This is the first of those 5-year renewals. We worked with Whitewater on some minor changes in the contract, specifically taking out the chemicals from within the actual operators and doing it separately, and that gives us some flexibility to also use state contracts for chemicals depending on best price.
Okay.
Outside of that, nothing else has changed. And Steve's here with any questions, so is Bob.
Okay.
Steve Gregoire has been with us now for 20 years, I think we talked about. Has a long history, they do a great job. So we recommend approval of this amendment number 1.
Okay. Any comments or questions from the board?
No. They've doing my job as long as I've known.
Richard? Yeah.
I'm just wondering, what was the cost prior to this first 5-year amendment?
Approximately 1.65.
About 1.65, yeah.
Okay.
And I also just want to bring to your attention that attachment 1 to appendix 6 and appendix H.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, attachment 1 to appendix H. Both have notes that they contain confidential information pertaining to salaries, and they can't be disseminated to any other person besides the accounting department, so that they may be reviewed.
Doesn't include the names though, right?
No, it doesn't.
Just position.
It just-
Says this form contains confidential information pertaining to Whitewater.
Oh, I get it, yeah, I understand, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I do have a couple of questions. Which just as one catches it, just in line number 1, it says it's June 2026. Which obviously was 2 months ago.
Oh, for the date?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll amend the date.
I know the date is August 6th too.
Yeah.
August 16th.
Make
so.
sure we have the date, yeah.
I was curious about, let's see here. So just to clarify, I talked about diesel and propane reimbursement. We're reimbursing them, or they're reimbursing us?
The town reimburses.
Reimburse that.
We purchase that for the town,
Okay.
and then it comes back as a reimbursable.
Okay. Has there been any projection of the cost, possible cost increases due to the war and the situation going on in the Middle East now?
I'm sorry, what?
Has there been any projection of possible cost increases due to the war and what's going on in the Middle East now?
No.
We haven't seen any. We're locked in for chemicals for the next 12 months, so we'll see no change there. That price is set.
What about the fuel though? In this case, we're talking about diesel and propane.
Yeah, when we're buying diesel, it's through the contract the town already has with Peterson.
Okay, it's the same kind.
Yeah. It's mostly for fuel for generators, so it's
Okay.
on that fuel contract.
So that's coming up later. Okay. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I just have one more question, for the chair. For Appendix H, what was the previous multiplier, the voting multiplier?
So the what?
The previous multiplier?
On appendix
H. It's billing rate equals current pay rate times 1.85 burden times 1.10 profit.
So that's the prevailing wage scales. Steve, right?
The 1.85, the burden is prevailing wage.
No, the burden is hourly rate times overhead, company overhead to set the rate for each employee.
Mm-hmm.
What was it in the last 5 years?
The same.
Same. The only thing that was changed on that was the actual hourly rates to make sure it was reflective of what was now in place.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay. I also had a quick question. You mentioned about chemicals, and the contract calls for a cost plus 5% administrative fee. I was curious why is there a 5% administrative fee? Isn't that the job of the system to do these chemicals?
So it's if they buy them on their behalf, if we're not going through the state contract and the state and town's not buying them, that's the pass through. We have a similar language in the Jacobs contract for this sewer.
So in generally do we buy them now, or do they?
Depending on the price, right now Jacobs is getting a very good price, so we pay the 5% markup. Yes.
No, but I mean this is why I wanted that.
We haven't started yet. This is the first time we're going to be doing that. So
Okay, this is new to them.
this is new to them.
So normally they had been doing it, and then
They
this
have
is
been
now
doing
part
it
of
as
their
part,
contract.
correct? Yeah.
Okay. Any projection of what it usually would cost, Steve?
What's that?
About the chemicals?
The average annual cost for chemicals ranges between $100,000 and $115,000 a year for the total water system.
115K. Okay. Thanks.
And I do know in discussing with Jacobs on the sewer end that they've seen a decrease in the chemical prices right now.
We have as well.
Okay,
So,
that's good enough.
yeah.
I don't know how long that will last. And also about the fee adjustment, it says it's a base cost plus 2 to 5% CPI. Why is that based on Boston and not like Worcester?
Because that's the market that it's been historically.
That is always, it's always been the market indicator that these types of contracts go by. It's a Metro Boston. It's been the one that's traditionally been used by everybody.
The Boston near urban. That's what it's been.
Statewide thing? Okay. Any further comments or questions? Councilor Green? No, that wasn't me. Anyone else have a comment or question? Okay, all those in favor? Okay. Okay. Item number 8, review and discuss, I think this is a different item here. Review and discuss entering into a contract with Peterson Oil Service as the lowest responsible and responsive bidder for the Central Mass Regional Planning Commission's invitation to bid for unleaded gasoline for fiscal year 2027. And if you want to throw in at a markup of 79 cents a gallon.
That's what you want.
That's,
So moved.
Second.
any comments?
Amending that.
Mr.
So as participating in this came to me from the D.P.W department, Peterson Oil, it was our vendor last year. Through that, we did not actively participate in this bid, but because we are a member of the CMRPC, we do have the opportunity to participate and use their prices. So Peterson had sent this information over to us. So we're gonna jump on the CMRPC because we had not done the bid process for that. We do the bid process for the heating oil. Somehow this got overlooked in the last year with staffing changes. So we're gonna use this Peterson Oil bid through CMRPC.
Okay. And what did it cost us last year?
I would have to get that for you. I can find out from Monday night if you like.
How long have you been working at Peterson?
I'll find that out too, because
Okay.
I don't deal with the fuel every day, so
Okay.
we'll find out for you if you like.
Okay.
We can find out.
We are locked into the 79 cents though.
Yeah, at the market, but 79 cents, correct.
A little stinky.
It is, but given the markets, it's,
Why is there a markup when they're guaranteed a bunch of gallons to us? As opposed to the other way
it's-
around? If
It's
not like they're going-
articulated in their process. Do you have any answers for that? No. So,
Or you think that a guaranteed amount would actually reduce the cost? Not add 80 cents a gallon?
well, I think it's because of the changes in the market, like you said. Yeah, there was In the past, we locked in fixed pricing, but because of market fluctuations, we have used a guaranteed market price that will be added to the base price. We pinned the base price to the New York Harbor wholesale price for fuel oil, diesel, and gas, and the Mont Bellevue, Texas wholesale price for propane. So that's how they did it.
Anyway, any other comments or questions? All those in favor? Okay. The next one is review and discuss entering into a contract with Peterson Oil Service as the lowest responsible and responsive bidder for the CMRPC invitation to bids for diesel fuel for fiscal 2027 at a markup also of 71 cents a gallon.
So moved.
Second.
Anything else to say about this one?
No.
Any comments or questions on this? Unfortunately. All those in favor? Okay. Number 10, vote to ratify the contract with Lead Group DBA Lead Salt for the provision of treated salt with a bid price of $91 per ton. Lead Salt is the lowest responsible and responsive bidder from the town of Oxford's FY27 treated sodium chloride road salt cooperative bid, and allow the manager to sign all related documents.
So moved.
Second.
So we have been participating in the town of Oxford's treated sodium chloride road salt bids, along with other member towns for a number of years. We went out to bid this year. Unfortunately, it's a 14% increase, but however, they are the lowest as part of that. Lead has been very good to member towns. Last year, their prices went up because of shortages and the type of winter it was.
Yeah.
However, they held all the towns to what they guaranteed, even though we were over the threshold of the number of tons that we
Right.
used. So they're good to us. So, and you see the cost, it is the best bid for the town of Southbridge.
Do you know what our average tonnage is per winter?
Well, we guarantee at least
2,300. Yeah.
2,300, and I think we were at 110 to 120% last year.
Okay.
You know, the year before we were good. It was a good winter.
Right.
Hopefully this year's a better winter, so we can watch it. But yeah, so yeah, and those numbers were computed by Pete Preventure, the
Okay.
operations manager. He does a good job about estimating what salt and how much we use and all that. So
Okay.
he did that computation for us.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Fingers crossed for more winter.
Through you to the chairman, sorry if you mentioned this, but remember last year when we went over, they gave us the same price?
Correct.
Are they gonna do that again if it happens, or is that like a one-time thing? They're hoping that like we don't screw up this time?
Well, you know, maybe
Not
that's
Mother
the
Nature.
reflection of why they went up 14%. I can't read their minds,
Understood,
but
yeah. Okay.
maybe they're trying to recoup some of the money they. You know,
Very well.
one
Because
way or
they did
another,
that for
people are
Oxford.
gonna pay. But
They did it for Oxford and us at the same time, was that correct?
everybody that was part of the consortium that
Yeah.
did this.
Okay.
And that's the benefit of us doing these bids and
Yeah.
regionals and consortiums.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any further comments or questions? All those in favor? Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, are you not doing citizens forum this year?
No.
There isn't one currently on the agenda. I have no problem with adding it to for future.
We do have another meeting at 7 o'clock.
No, I know. Are you gonna do it in the future?
I have no problem with adding it to future agendas, yeah. It doesn't
Are we gonna
have
get
to be-
updates about the trench regulations in the future? It's
We can
been
throw it in the
years.
agenda. Okay.
Okay, awesome.
Put it in the agenda.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, can I get a point of information?
What's that?
If a citizen wants to have something added to an agenda or talk about, how do they go about proceeding with that?
Honestly, best bet is just to email me. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other comments or questions? Before we adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Okay.
Second?
All in favor?